This is the S&P 500 one-day reading for October 4th, 2023. It's currently September 6th, 2023, 9:26 p.m. Eastern Time. The S&P 500 at the time of this reading, 4,465.48. And the shuffle file we're about to play was created on July 28th at 1:33 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. So the overall theme and behavior for the day of the 4th, guys, it's a cross-reading congruency. The tower card is a notable decline on a one-day scale, at least off of a peak, a notable peak. It won't be a crest; it'll be a peak, and it's a cross-reading congruency. We have it where it's appearing here on the 4th as a theme card, but we have it in the sequence of events here on the 3rd in the 1 month. So this is going to be a notable decline, not just on a one-day chart, but on a multi-day chart. And what's interesting is then the following day, if you look on the after the tower card, you have the completion card, and when we look at the following day, what do we have? We have the completion card. So we're on the sequence of events. We're currently off by a day on the 1 month, but that occasionally will happen, guys. Not every single energy is going to line up perfectly with 1 day of time or 1 hour of time. It doesn't work that way. So make sure to follow that sequence of events. That's the most important aspect. Timing is usually on point. Sequence of events is even more so. So this notable decline on a multi-day scale, behavior around the highest high, there's a sideways fluctuating decline that precedes a rally. Usually there's an opportunity in the midst of the Empress card. When you see the Empress card, it's an opportunity to open up a long position. So seeing it in the high position, it's not its most comfortable place, but it could indicate that we see the same high again, like more than once in the day. And if not, it could indicate we see that same high the following day or a higher high the following day. That's the way something like that, a card like that in the high position usually indicates. And then behavior around the lowest low, we have the establishment of support, and then a big move higher standing out on a one-day chart. I'm advised to trade around a notable decline, offering an opportunity to open up a long position. Interesting. And what's interesting is there's a significant amount of trade going on here first thing in the morning. We have the Ace of Cups, this is probably the main trade of the day here first thing in the morning in the midst of a decline. You could open up a long position and close that long position somewhere between 10. I'd probably close that long position around 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, maybe a little bit after 1 o'clock. I would close that long position at a day's high. But we're going to see a high and then possibly a higher high, a high here between 10 and 11, and then possibly a higher high between 11 and 12. And then we should have a highest high here at this near overbought peak or crest. So a rally out of our day's first trough in the morning, in the pre-market, a rally that offers opportunity to open up a short position. We're probably going to be at a high first thing, like right around the open at a key resistance where volume will kind of flatten out. And in a case like that, I would open up a short position, close that short position for a scalp in the midst of a decline here in that first half hour, and open up a long position in the midst of that decline for a scalp that I would close again between roughly 10 and 12, which I would close again, not for a scalp. I would close it in the midst of this near overbought peak or crest that we have between 1 and 2 o'clock. So we go into a high or a first high here between 10 and 11. There's key resistance. It's probably the same resistance as the high we saw right at the open. So you could utilize that possibly as an exit price level. And then we should have a pretty notable drop in the beginning of the 11 to 12 o'clock hour, but it's not going to last long. There's a breakout that starts out of a trough and takes us to another high towards the end of that 11 to 12 o'clock hour with a big move to the upside. Then we'll create a crest or peak somewhere around 12 o'clock, and there should be a decline through to and through a support to meet another support. We rotate sideways along that support, and then we should rally into a near overbought peak or crest between that we sell off from. So the overbought peak or crest will be between like 1 and 2 o'clock, and we'll sell off from that pretty notably. There's congruency here with the indolence card, so this is likely a brief peak around 110, a brief peak right around then that's easily missed, followed by a decline, and then another big move to the upside, taking us to another high at the end of the day, where we break through resistance, we stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through that same price level with the full retracement of the move. So we either have a really big drop here, like overnight, or there's like, very interesting. It's probably a pretty big drop overnight is my sense, and that's why we have the Princess of Cups and the Ace of Cups right here first thing in the morning. So a main trade, if you're not going to like try and be fancy, which I don't recommend, there's plenty of trades to go through for the day. Pick one. I would say go with the long position in the midst of a sharp decline here to close that long position at that peak around 1 to 2. And then there's a trade at the end of the day, but it's a little unclear, so we'll keep that. We won't talk about that. The relativity card for the following day is a pop and drop. At the end of the day here, we decline to and through support, meet another support, and then we do some rotation sideways. So we either see a decline overnight or we see it right here at the end of the day off of a high. And that's October 4th for the S&P 500. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't done so, that's really helpful for the channel. Much appreciation. But most importantly, be an angel investor. It's the right thing to do. And what do I mean by that? Go to our website, Tarot for Traders, and take 5% of the profits that you make from this information, donate it forward to a charity. 5% of the profits back to the channel. It leaves you with 90%. Spend it the way you want. Make sure it's out of love. You follow those 3 rules. That's the rule of karma for the channel, and you're an angel investor. The channel, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel. I'll see you guys on the next one.